Okay. Today my guest is voice actor Peter Jessop. How did you get started in voice acting? Were your parents voice actors, or were you just fascinated with voice acting and entertainment?
Well, I was a regular actor first, back in the 80s, and I moved to Los Angeles to do a TV show.
Okay.
And got hit by a car.
Oh, sorry.
And couldn't do the show. My face was kind of messed up for a while, so I thought, well, I better focus on something I can do, which is voice acting. So I did.
What do you find is the most difficult or challenging part of being an actor and voice actor?
Most challenging part, I think, really comes from figuring out what the character is going to be. The writers have a script they put together, and you have to read through it and figure out who this character is and what they're trying to do, and that sort of thing.
Do you still do acting, like on-camera acting, or you're just mainly a voice actor now?
I am strictly a voice actor. I haven't done anything on camera in 30 years.
Wow.
Well, 26 years.
Still a long time, but...
Yeah, very long time.
Let's talk about some of the voice acting roles you are best known for.
Okay.
You are best known for Wesker, Albert Wesker, in the, can't think of the video.
GameCube remake of Resident Evil, yes.
Yes, the Resident Evil, game. And,
That's true.
let's talk about how did you get, into that role? Did you audition, and,
I did. Came up as any of a number of other auditions, and when I got the part, we went to the studio, and I wasn't given a lot of character information. In fact, when I started doing the project, I did not know that Wesker was the villain. I thought he was just the team leader, which is why it had such a great transition from being just the team leader to the final reveal where he is the villain, because I found out myself at that point that he was the villain. So it required sort of an abrupt change of gears, but it was an interesting concept at the time when we did it, and it was 2002, so that was quite a few years ago. Actually, it was 2001 when we recorded it. There hadn't been a video game with cutscenes before.
Yeah.
That was the first one to really use cutscenes. And computer animation to lay the groundwork in between the different parts of the game, and I thought that was amazing. They filmed our faces to get the lip movement, and so you couldn't move around a lot when you were doing it, because the camera was on your face the whole time. And Albert Wesker is a great character, because, as I said, he starts out as being sort of this calm, professional, mercenary kind of guy, security guy, who then throughout the course of it, you realize, oh, he's not a good guy. He's making Barry do terrible things, and he's blackmailing Barry, and when you find out what the ultimate, goal of his evil plan is, and the big final fight scene with Chris or whoever you're playing as, that was pretty cool.
Was that the first video game you were a part of? The first?
No, I had done a few others before that, but they'd never been anything quite so involved. There was this was a serious script, and the first game I did was back in the 90s. It was the expansion pack for Mech Warrior, and we did the Ghost Bear Legacy guest pack. It wasn't really a DLC; it was just an additional content.
Yeah.
You had to buy back in those days.
Yeah. But
and I played that game a lot. It turned out that was a really great game, and I actually played it quite a bit because they gave me a copy of it.
So you're a voice actor that plays the games, right? You play the video games.
I am. I do play the games.
But as you said, the GameCube Resident Evil, you said that was a game way before its time, because it was the
Well,
first.
it set the standard. It really set the standard for what video games were going to become.
Yeah. And
I think that's what I'm most proud of about that work.
Yeah, and look at the video games now, They're more...
Absolutely. They're very cinematic now.
Besides Wesker, you've done one of my favorite games, Fallout 4, as Paladin Dance. You did that?
Yes.
Yeah. That's one of my favorites.
And I was a Fallout player before I got the job, and when I showed up at the session, because they don't really tell you what you're working on, I got into the booth and I was reading through the dialogue. I had no idea what the game was going to be. And my character says, "Watch out for those ferals over there." And I was like, "Ferals? Oh, this is Fallout." And everybody in the control room was like, "Yeah, it's Fallout." So that was exciting.
Yeah, because before Fallout 4, they made many other Fallout games. Many.
They had. I actually started with Fallout 3 and then played Fallout New Vegas as well. I hadn't done 1 or 2 at that point.
Yeah. But, could you do the Paladin Dance voice, if you could? Do that.
Well, this pretty much is the Paladin Dance voice.
Yeah.
It's basically my voice. Little less projected than normal speaking. He's a very, kind of calm and quiet speaker.
Yeah. Do you have any upcoming voice acting projects you can share with my audience? Or is
I'm afraid I can't. We have to usually sign a non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
That means that we can't talk about what's coming up.
And if you do...
But we've also been on strike for a year, so a lot of the really big games have been out of reach.
Yeah.
But Destiny 2 just came out. I'm still the exo male player character voice in that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You did that, that's another role you did in the first Destiny game.
Yep. And they kept us all for the second game. There's really not much new. We didn't really record anything new for that. They just,
What other voice roles have you, done, if you can remember?
Oh, there have been quite a few. As far as animation goes, the only series I ever did was the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Yes, you voiced Vision.
I was the Vision in that. And I really enjoyed that show. That was a lot of fun. You recorded with the whole cast together. And it was a Marvel production. It wasn't a Warner Brothers production or a Disney production or anybody else. It was strictly Marvel.
Yeah.
And that was great because they really stuck to sort of the canon in a way that a lot of the other animated superhero shows haven't done. They've always tried to change things up for to suit their particular needs. And the Avengers was great because it was the story of the Avengers the way that you'd get it in the comic book, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. Marvel Comics is one of my favorite superhero franchises,
Mine too, although I have crossed over and done DC stuff as well, so.
Yeah. What advice would you give to any one that wants to become a voice actor and an actor? Do you have any advice for them?
I do. My advice for anyone who particularly wants to be a voice actor is read. Mm-hmm. Read everything. Read all the time. In my opinion, reading comprehension is the number one tool of a voice actor. If you can get if you can get a script in front of you and you can look at it and know immediately what your character is thinking, then you've got an advantage. If you are a slower reader, you have to sit there and you have to read through it and you have to figure out what it means first. And if you're a good reader, you can get right to the heart of it.
Yeah, because reading is very important for voice acting because you're reading the script the whole time.
Exactly.
Let's see. How long have you been a voice actor? You said since the 90s or the 80s?
Since the 90s, yeah. I started doing commercial voice acting back in the 80s when I lived in Chicago as sort of it was always considered sort of a sideline.
Yeah.
It was a way to make some extra money to pay your bills. It's been my full-time job here in LA for probably 18 years now.
That's longer than I've been alive, so.
There you go. That was, and it took a while to break into voice acting here. You know, it was, pick up a job here, pick up a job there, but mostly working regular jobs. You know, I worked a lot of different kinds of just regular jobs.
Yeah, because, but LA, Los Angeles is a good place to go to be an actor and voice actor. You know, a lot of opportunities.
It is. It's where there are the most opportunities, I think.
Yeah.
New York is very good. And really, with the internet and the way things go, you can live pretty much anywhere. But if you want to do animation or you want to do video games, LA is still really the central place to do it.
Yeah. See, when I'm older, I want to be a voice actor and actor. That's why I've been doing this radio show to talk to actors and voice actors to get their experiences and their input and their advice, which I've been doing for 4 years. So.
That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What is, you said the most challenging part to be a voice actor and actor is to, you know, do you have trouble getting voice acting work? Do you stay at...
I've been pretty lucky, as far as that goes. I do mostly commercial work.
Yeah.
You know, TV ads and radio ads, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly enjoy animation and video games more than that because it's just more fun and you get to actually really work on a character as opposed to just talking about a product.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, but it's no, I've been very lucky in this business here.
And it's a great business, you know, to be a part of. It is.
It is.
You meet a lot of people.
It's also.
You meet a lot of
you do.
people.
You meet a lot of people. Yeah. So. Yep. I got time for a quick story.
Sure. Yeah.
This is my favorite story, and I'll tell you this one. It's everyone in Los Angeles has this story.
Okay.
I worked on a movie that's never going to come out, an animated film, called Spawn the Animation.
Mm-hmm.
And it fell apart for whatever reason. You know, these things fall apart. We did 2 sessions.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an amazing cast. It had Clancy Brown, it had Cree Summer, it had Phil Lamar, and it had Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
And I've been a fan of his since I was a kid, back in the 70s when Star Wars first came out.
Me too.
And I was so excited that I was going to get to meet Mark Hamill. And I went to the session. We had no scenes together. And so I didn't actually get to work with him.
Yeah.
And never had a chance to talk to him during either of the sessions. I was very disappointed.
Uh-huh.
A few years later, we did the animated film for Dante's Inferno, based on the video game.
Yeah.
And I've been here long enough, and I've met a lot of famous people, and I tend not to get starstruck.
Mm-hmm.
But Mark Hamill came into the studio when I was talking to the production coordinator.
Uh-huh.
And he came walking over and started talking to him. And the production coordinator said, "Oh, and Peter, Mark, this is Peter." And Mark said, "Oh, Peter Jessop." And I shook his hand, and inside my head I said, "Oh, Luke Skywalker knows my name." Trying so hard not to be a complete geek about that.
Yeah. I think everyone gets like that if they meet their all-time favorite actor.
Absolutely. So that was a big starstruck moment for me.
Yeah. Well,
and since then, of course, I've seen him several times, and he's a very nice man. So.
Yeah, I've talked to him not on the my radio show, but I'm trying to get to interview him on my radio show, and so far I've talked to him, and he's a nice man.
Yes, he is.